guys, it's Sarah. Welcome back to my channel where I talk about all things books and writing. In today's video, I'm doing an end of the year wrap up. So for pretty much everything, for writing, for YouTube, for social media, and all the wonderful books I've read. So let's get to it. So this video is the first one that I've ever made like this. I'm really excited to be able to look back on this next year because most of everything I'm talking about is not very impressive because it's just the first year that I've been working on it, but I want to be able to document the progress that I'm making on writing and YouTube, just all of it. I just want to be able to document these very humble beginnings. I feel like 2022 is just a year where I was kind of learning a lot of what I was doing. Next year I'm super excited to share actual stats and income, and I'm just so excited. I feel like you can only go up from here. So, but you gotta start somewhere, and 2022 is my year to start a lot of things, and I feel like next year will be the year that everything kind of just begins, and I'm so excited for that. Let's get into it. I'm gonna start with writing first, since most of my channel is about AuthorTube stuff and writing vlogs, so writing first. Then I will do kind of my YouTube social media stats, and lastly I'll just do a brief chat about the books that I read and kind of my stats for that this year, because this was just such a different year. I think in 2021 I read 2 books total, and this year way more than that, and it definitely became such a big part of my life. A lot can change in a year, it's great. So let's get to it. My writing stats of this year. So I started working on my first book in 2022. In 2021 I wrote some and worked on some fun short stories and ideas, but 2022 was the first time that I actually sat down and planned to write a book from start to finish. In March I started working on my fantasy series, which is kind of epic fantasy, YA, new adult fantasy series. I worked from March until August on my first draft, which ended up being 44,105 words with approximately 40 chapters maybe. That was when I finished draft 1. And then from September to December, I started working on draft 2, and I added 6,814 words, which brought the series work in progress to 50,919 words. So I worked with a critique partner or alpha reader on that series who's also an editor, so she kind of helps with a lot of grammatical changes as well. But I actually put that series on pause probably the end of November or beginning of December, and started working on another project, which is a fantasy romance standalone, which is what I'm planning to publish first in 2023. I've only written 1,703 words on that series, which is mostly just my outline. There will be so many videos coming in 2023 about working on this project and publishing this project and everything else with it. I'll have to make a whole separate video on that. But anyways, so working on those 2 separate projects in 2022, I wrote a total of 52,622 words. That's a lot for my first year of working on writing, and I know some people write way more than that in a month, but I am new to all of this, and I will just take the positives where I see them, which is writing 52,000 words in a year is a lot for someone who's never done it before. So working on 2 projects and writing 52,000 words was a great start for my writing career this year. Moving into the social media and YouTube year in review, I will just do a quick recap of kind of my other social medias besides YouTube. I started my YouTube first in 2020, but I didn't shift into making this type of content, writing and book content, until this year. But I started my TikTok account and my Instagram account this year for author related things and book related things. I started posting to TikTok first in maybe February or March. This fluctuates a lot, but now in December I have 934 TikTok followers, and on Instagram I started that later. Honestly, I think my first post on Instagram was in November, and I have 48 Instagram followers. So those are my other social media stats. In the YouTube world, let's see, in January I was posting my previous content, which was kind of planning and digital products and stuff. I don't know how to describe that. But I posted one video in January from a collaboration that I was doing with the old content in January, and that was the only video I posted. In February I posted 0 videos because I didn't really know what I was doing with it. I felt like I wanted to go in a different direction with my content. I found it kind of boring. I don't know, it wasn't for me anymore. In March, I posted 0 regular videos, but I posted 6 shorts, which was a shift to the book-related content. And then in April, I posted 3 regular videos and 6 shorts. May, I posted 2 videos and 5 shorts. June, I posted 1 video and 1 short. And then in July, I posted 3 regular videos and 2 shorts. And that was the first month I posted any sort of writing vlog content. I had been filming writing vlog content since March, but I didn't actually put it together or think that it would be interesting, I guess, for people to watch until July. And then July led into my most successful month of the year, which was August. Because of that first writing vlog I posted, it started getting way more views than all my other content. And in August, I tried to create a schedule to post up to 3 videos a week, which is kind of crazy. That was a lot of videos. I don't think I'm going to be doing that in the new year. That was kind of a lot. But I posted 9 videos in August and I saw a very large growth in that month, but I posted 0 shorts. So from the rest of the year, I stopped posting YouTube shorts, which is really strange to me because when I looked at my analytics to prep for this video, my shorts, they're getting the most views and watch time out of all of my content, and they're mostly all related to newer content from this year. So I don't really know why I stopped. So now I need to go through my TikTok account and see if I can repurpose some of that into the YouTube shorts. I know I have a lot of footage that I filmed for TikTok on my regular phone and not on the app, the TikTok app, that I think I can repurpose into content for next year or for the end of this year. Okay, so that was August. September, we were away for half the month in Europe, and I also felt very tired, I think, from doing 9 videos in August. I spent so much time editing. So in September, I only posted 1 video, 0 shorts. October, I did 3 videos, still no shorts. November, I did 2 videos, still no shorts. And December will be 3 videos because this video is going live before the end of the year. So in total, I did 28 full videos and 20 shorts. So my overall YouTube year growth, I gained 205 subscribers, 1,100 watch hours, and 66,100 views. So that's a lot of growth in a year. So the only thing that wasn't better than the year before were my watch time hours. I've really been struggling with watch time hours. So even when I'm still gaining subscribers, even if it's just a small amount, I'm still moving upward. But since I stopped posting so much, like I was in August, I really have seen a decline in my watch time hours. I, at one point, was halfway to the monetization point because you need 4,000. And I was very close to, I was at 18 or 1900 hours. And so I was basically at the halfway point. And now I think I'm under 1,000 for the year. Because it's not continual, it's just I don't even really understand what it is because it's basically a year right now and it says I have 1,100 watch hours, but when you go on the monetization area, it says I have 800 and something. But that was a lot of growth for a year. And I feel like I learned a lot by filming things that I really enjoy, and I have so much content that I filmed and have not finished editing. So that's where I realized my real issue is in making YouTube videos was the editing portion can take a long time, and it was because I was using really bad tools. So another update, I guess, of my year in review on YouTube is that I switched a lot of my filming gear or software. So originally at the start of the year, I was editing all of my videos on iMovie in the iPad, and the process to do that was I have a camera, and that's something I have to update next year because my dog totally broke a whole piece of my camera that allows me to attach it to my phone and have a bigger viewfinder because this camera is very small. We got it for traveling more, we got it as for hiking and fun outdoor trips, so it's a very small camera that you can stick in a backpack or your pocket. And it has a whole stabilization feature, which is nice, but I don't really walk around a ton with my camera now. I mostly just want it to sit places, and it's super small, and so you can't put it into a tripod. It just has to sit unless you can use your phone, and when I use my phone, then it can be on the tripod. I had my phone on the tripod and my dog just like knocked over the tripod, totally broke the piece off that lets it click into the phone. I don't think I'm gonna be able to repair that. So I could see about getting a part, but I may just like hope for a new camera in the new year so that I can film much easier. Like it can sit and I can see it, and it can also like sit on the tripod and stuff. That would just be wonderful. But I upgraded from the way that I was uploading content was basically I would have to send it from my camera to my phone to the iPad, or from my camera to the iPad, and it just was very slow to download the footage. It would take hours to download, and I don't know, it just took a long time. So that was a lot, and the editing features, you couldn't do a lot with them. At some point, maybe like in March or April, I switched to another app on the iPad that was a bit more sophisticated, like the software for editing, and that helped a ton, and I used that all the way until November or December. When I got my MacBook, I now have Final Cut Pro. I now know how to operate it better. It was definitely a learning curve in the beginning to use like a computer, and also just like more advanced software that I feel like I couldn't really edit a lot quickly because I was still learning all the features and how to do really simple things. So now I understand how to do it a lot better, and I can go a lot faster. So this will be impressive to see how fast I can edit this video, because today is Wednesday, December 28th. I want to put this up before the end of the year. So I'm gonna have to edit this really quickly, but I'm hoping it's super simple to get done. So that was a lot of software, kind of like gear updates, I guess, for my YouTube, which definitely helps you make more videos and do them faster. So working on that. Yeah, that was kind of like my overall year in review. So I'm currently at 363 subscribers as of today on the 28th. And we'll see what happens with that. I posted a video on Monday of why I chose indie publishing and and starting to document the whole self-publishing process. So that one's doing well. So I've gained quite a few subscribers in the past couple days, which is fun. Welcome if you're new here. It's so great to have you. But something else I didn't talk about with my writing. So another update or upgrade, I guess I could say, for 2022 was for my writing. I got the software Vellum in order to be able to format my book and not have to pay someone to do it. And that was a great upgrade for my writing career, and I know that it will just come in such handy next year with publishing a book. Alright, so those are all my social media stats, and last is my year in books. So I have my little Goodreads screenshot here. I read a total of 57 books. That may change before the end of the year because I'm almost done with like 3 different books. So if I end up reading more before the end of the year, that may go up. But as of now, it is 57 books, which is 22,529 pages read. And I believe my longest book, it said, was 980 pages, and my shortest was like 80 pages, but I looked at what it counted as like the shortest one, and it was actually like some bonus chapters from a book. So I don't know why I counted that one. So that was it. So that was my year in books. My goal this year was to read 100 books. That didn't happen, but I started that goal in like July or June when I had already started reading like a lot of books. I think I was on like 20 something or 30 books, and I was like, wow, this is a lot of books. Maybe I could reach 100 by the end of the year. And I would say my biggest problem of why I didn't do that is I start a lot of books and then I pause them and I do something else and I read something else. I'm definitely a mood reader, and some I like totally bounce back and forth. I like to read multiple books at the same time. I like to read multiple types of books at the same time. Like right now, okay, so week after Christmas, and one of my Christmas gifts was this book by Tom Felton about his life. It is the cutest, funniest book ever. I'm loving reading it. So I don't usually read nonfiction or memoirs or anything, but I'm absolutely loving it. I'm laughing out loud. All of the like behind the scenes, the filming of Harry Potter, loving it. And then the other book that I'm reading at the same time, which I'm definitely halfway through now, which is quite a feat because this book's very large. I think I'm at like 400 and something pages now, is the first Crescent City book, House of Earth and Blood, maybe? Yes. I'm like so impressed with myself because Sarah J Maas has a lot of books and I'm one book away from reading every one of her books in under a year. And I'm just pumped about that. So that's a reading progress. I don't know, my goal was to read them all by the end of the year, but I'm one away and I just feel like that's still a win. So because I'd rather like enjoy Crescent City and really be able to take in like how intense the world building is in this series and understand what's kind of going on rather than like just speed through it. Plus it's kind of a heavy book where I feel like her other books weren't so heavy in the beginning. They were pretty light until you get a little bit later in, and I feel like it's already kind of heavy, and I know there's so much more to this book, so I'm just taking my time. Yeah, so those are two very different books, and I'm reading them on a daily basis. But I have a lot of other books. I probably have 10 or 15 other books that I started, did not finish. I will get to them. But right now, those are the two I'm reading. Being a mood reader is just wild. You never know what you're gonna read and you get tired of things very quickly and you want to move on, but it doesn't mean I don't want to finish them or don't think about those books. Yeah. And there's always so many shiny new books on my TBR dangling in front of me, begging me to read them next. That was kind of my year in review. Let's see, what was my favorite book of the year? I think Sarah J Maas books are just what transformed my reading, writing, everything life. So all of her books were kind of my favorite this year. My other top favorite, I just read this really good one and I'm already ready to like read it again. It is, I think it's called Our Broken Song. The Broken Song? I will put it's right here. That was like a contemporary romance I absolutely loved. I have also loved reading all of Sarah Sutton's books because I just also love following her YouTube journey. I just want to learn about her writing her books all the time. She posts so many videos each week and I'm still like, I wish there were more. Let's wrap it up. I'm trying to think of what I learned the most, I feel like, about writing and YouTube/social media. What are my like takeaways of the year? With writing, I think my biggest takeaway is it's so much discipline is needed in order to write a lot. I never realized how much time I would spend not writing. How much time I have to spend thinking and kind of daydreaming or brainstorming things, and whether or not they make sense or feel right, I guess, if that makes sense. I just really didn't anticipate that aspect of writing. Besides, it made sense that you need a lot of discipline and commitment to keep following through with writing, and if you write every day, even if you just write a smidge, you'll eventually have a book, and that's wonderful. But I didn't anticipate how much time you really just have to think through things, research through music and Pinterest and just emotions and personalities, and just you want your characters to feel like a real person, and they have to have tics and hobbies and anxieties and a whole person's worth of things, and not every character needs that much depth, but a lot of them do. I really enjoy pretty much every process about the writing. I don't know how much I love the editing process because I think I can be too much of a perfectionist. It's definitely very emotional to write. You have to be in a good mental health headspace to be writing. It's also just about having fun, and the more I just kind of had fun with it and brainstormed things and just kind of took my stories wherever and wasn't so trying to box things in so much, I feel the easier it came, which is great, but you also have to clean it up a lot. I don't know. It's a very difficult thing to write a book. I am just so incredibly appreciative and impressed by all of the other authors I've met, especially in the self-publishing world, just because that's the kind of niche I'm in right now, and the people I'm meeting. I just love when people offer advice, trying to find Facebook groups and podcasts and connecting with other authors on social media. It is just so nice to meet other people trying to do the same thing, which just feels so crazy in your normal bubble of where you live. If nobody else is doing this, you kind of feel silly for doing it. When I meet all these other people who are having just incredible success or just love what they wrote and love what they're doing, it's really inspiring. So those are my takeaways from the writing world. I am so excited for next year. It's just gonna be great. Also, just a little shout out. I've had a couple people reach out to me from YouTube and ask me to be an ARC reader for their books. So if you're watching this and you have a book as well, like, don't hesitate to reach out. I'd love to read your books. I will be honest and say if I don't typically read that genre, I might not be of good help. But if it's anything in the fantasy or romance genre, definitely hit me up. I would be interested. And last, what I learned in the YouTube social media world, I feel like of trying to focus on it somewhat for the past year. YouTube, I definitely could have done way more. It's kind of crazy seeing these stats here that it was only 28 full videos when I feel like I worked pretty hard on it most of the year. I don't know, that's kind of strange to see. I think the biggest takeaway I have from social media is it's better to show up imperfectly on a more regular basis than to show up once every like 6 months with like the perfect kind of content. And that's 1000% true for TikTok in particular. Every time I stop posting on TikTok, I forget how much I miss it until I start posting and interacting. I have never had a bad experience on that app. Other people totally have, but I have connected with so many sweet people. I just love the conversation that kind of starts, that people are willing to give their time and like opinions or advice or, you know, encouragement. They're so willing to give up their time. I'm sure sometimes it's a really negative thing, but over there, I typically don't have a single negative experience, which is so great. And honestly, I guess I haven't really had much of a negative experience on YouTube either. I don't know why I singled out TikTok. On some YouTube shorts, I had some rude people, but that just comes with exposing yourself to people. With YouTube, and I don't know, the more I show up, the better. I love like chatting with people in the comments whenever that happens, or if they've reached out to me like privately. It's so fun. It's like my favorite part. I just want to chat with people. So I guess the more you put yourself out there, the better it gets. That's probably not true later on when you have like hundreds of thousands of followers, but so far my little tiny world of people here on social media, it's just been such a positive experience. I love sharing with everyone. I love hearing people like talk about their stuff. It's so fun. Yeah, so I feel like that's what I've learned. Showing up imperfectly more often is better than showing up once in a while with a more polished, perfect kind of content. I don't know, that's what I've learned. So these were kind of this was my year wrap up. This is my year-end review of my writing, my social media, books that I've read. It's been a fun year, guys. I'm just so excited. I'm excited this year's ending because I just feel like next year's just gonna be even better. I feel like this year's been all about like laying the groundwork and doing a lot of work without a lot of payoff in any form. Like, you know, I've been working on books and working on YouTube and working on just whatever, and I feel like you gotta put a lot of work in ahead of time to get places in the future where you have like finished products of books, and also with my business that I started. So everything's been like laying the groundwork, and January a lot of things are gonna take off, and I'm just so excited for this next year. I'm doing a separate video on my 2023 goals for my writing, for author stuff, for YouTube and social media, for my business, for everything. So I will be making another video shortly with all of that fun stuff for you to check out. So that will be coming probably the first of the year. But Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, and thanks so much for watching my video.